Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Myra from Low Carb Love, and today we're gonna be making a microwavable layered cake. So this is gonna be super simple. If you've already tried my mug cake, it's one of my most popular recipes on my channel. I will link it down below in case you wanna make just a single serving, but this one here is gonna be an actual cake. So it's gonna be layered, we're gonna have a frosting on it, and obviously I'm gonna show you step by step on how to decorate it. So let's get started. So this is what we're gonna be cooking it in. It's a 6-inch silicone mold. I grabbed this on Amazon. I will link it down below. Okay, so for our cake, we're gonna use almond flour. Then we have just our egg whites, melted butter, vanilla extract, our sweetener, and our baking powder. Okay, so everything will be linked down below for you so that you guys can, print the recipe if you need it. But let's get started. So we have our almond flour, which is 1.5 cups. I'm gonna add our dry ingredients first. Now we have our sweetener. So the sweetener is a 1/2 cup. And then we have our baking powder. This is gonna help make the cake rise. And that is 2 tablespoons, okay? So just mix that together before you add your wet ingredients. And trust me, even if you're not, I know some of you might be afraid to bake. This is made in the microwave. Like, you can't mess it up. You're literally gonna throw everything into this bowl. And now we do our egg whites. This is just from like the little carton, and this is 1 cup. Throw that right in. So we have our melted butter, which is a 1/2 cup. Okay, and then we have a tablespoon of vanilla extract. You can use almond or, and your flavor of choice. But let's just go ahead and give this a little mix. See how that looks like regular cake batter. Now, if you want to actually make this some of you might not use a microwave, so you can totally make this in the oven. If you want to make this in the oven, you'd bake it at 350 degrees, and I would start with 10 minutes and then just gauge it from there. Take a look at that texture. So we're gonna make 2 separate cakes. We're gonna start off with, let's go ahead and quickly just use a little bit of avocado spray. Okay, just so that it falls out. I mean, you already know silicone is great because nothing sticks, but just in case you really want it to kind of fall out very easily. So we're gonna use half the batter in here, and then we will use half on the next one, okay? Let's go ahead and get this into the microwave, and I'm gonna show you how to make a cake in the microwave. Okay, so let's get our cake in, and we're gonna put it in for 3 minutes, and I will show you what it looks like at 3 minutes and see if it needs a little more. Okay, so let me show you what our cake looks like at 3 minutes. Okay, so then you just get your little butter knife, make sure that it's, not stuck on the sides, and do a little turn. Pat it, and there's our first layer. Can you believe that we made this in the microwave? So you don't have to be afraid if you're not, into baking. I got you. Okay, so now we're gonna make the second layer. Now for layer number 2, we sprayed it with our avocado oil. Quickly get our mix in there, and I want to show you how we're gonna decorate this. And yeah, you guys, this is going to look like a real deal cake, like professional. Okay, so here's the next layer to our cake. So 3 minutes is perfect. And we're gonna flip the bottom layer on here. And beautiful. We're gonna let them cool. Meanwhile, we're gonna make our chocolate ganache and we're gonna make our filling, okay? Okay, so now let's move on to make our chocolate ganache. So we're using our Chalk Zero sugar-free chocolate chips. I will link them down below. I do have a discount code, which is Low Carb Love. And we're using 6 ounces, okay? So this is 6 ounces of our chocolate chips. And what we're gonna do first is we're gonna get started with our heavy cream. So this is 2/3 of a cup of heavy cream. We're actually gonna pour it right into our pan. And then let's go over to the stove, and I'm gonna show you when to pull it off, because there's actually a little trick to making this perfect. So let's go. Okay, so as you can see, I'm using a very low heat. What we're gonna do is just wait until it starts to simmer. I'll show you what it should look like right now. Okay, so as you can see, it's just now starting to simmer all the way around. If there's gaps, you just wait until it's like now. So now there's, you know, it's simmering all the way around. As soon as it starts to simmer, you pull it off because you don't want to burn your chocolate. Okay, so as soon as it starts to simmer all the way around, you want to pull it off because if your milk is too hot, you can totally burn your chocolate. And chocolate is very easily burned, and if you do that, you basically need to start all over again. So if your milk happens to boil for whatever reason, then you just want to let it cool, and then you can pour it in. So now you have your chocolate chips, and what we're gonna do is literally just pour our heavy cream right onto, so you're gonna pour it right over your chocolate chips. And now, you're actually just gonna let it sit. You're not gonna touch it, you're not gonna stir it, you literally just let it sit like this. And we'll be back in 5 minutes. Okay, so now that it's been sitting for 5 minutes, what we're gonna do is now just start mixing. And not mixing it, like letting it sit all by itself for 5 minutes is really important because it changes the texture. Beautiful, it's coming together. And this is what it should look like. Okay, if yours melts on its own, then you don't have to put it back in the microwave. But yeah, it's beautiful. And so now we're gonna go ahead and make our filling. Okay guys, so now we're gonna make our whipped cream cheese, okay? So I'm using this little paddle attachment. What we're gonna do first is cream our cream cheese. And this can be just straight out of the fridge. It is 4 ounces of cream cheese, and now we add our sweetener. So we're using a 1/3 cup of sweetener, and let's go ahead and whip this up, or cream it, okay? So this is what it should look like. And now that it's nice and whipped or creamed, what we're gonna do is change out the attachments. You can actually make this with a hand mixer, but this is what I have, so it's what we're using, okay? And we're gonna put the whisk attachment, and we're adding 1.5 cups of heavy cream. And then you add your vanilla extract, and we are just using 1 teaspoon of vanilla, okay? And now let's go ahead and whip. Okay, so now that it's starting to get, you know, like thick, we're gonna go ahead and scrape the sides just to make sure that everything is well incorporated. You just have to do this about once. And then we're going to continue until it gets nice and stiff, okay? So this is what it should look like. This is the texture you are looking for. I don't know if you can see that, but it's like the perfect frosting. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we have our chocolate ganache, we have our filling, and now let's go ahead and chop our strawberries. So we cut the little tail off, whatever you want to call it, and we're just gonna slice. Okay, so now that we have our strawberries, what we're gonna do is put them right onto a towel, sorry. And we're just gonna do like a light little squeeze to try and get all the moisture, okay? So just lightly, you don't need to like smash them. It's just any excess moisture. We're gonna grab that. You can see like it's starting to seep through. It's kind of wet, okay? And now we just throw them back in. Perfection. And so a little, okay. And now what we're gonna do is grab some of our filling. Just like a heaping scoop like this. Throw it right in. And we're just gonna fold. Okay. You don't wanna mix all crazy where you're going to like destroy your strawberries, but just fold it. So it's just, you know, like incorporating. Perfect. Okay. And now we move on to our next step. All right guys, so take a look at our cakes. These are nice and cool. You can see how like nice and fluffy, bouncy they are. They have just a really great structure. So what we're gonna do, of course, if you really wanna be like this perfectionist, you can cut this to even it out. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put our filling, and we're gonna put the filling right in the center, and then we're gonna use this to actually help us have like an even cake, okay? So we're just gonna put all of it because, you know, we're a little savage here. It's not about that skimpy life, right? So now we're just going to kind of even this out. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be so delicious, I can't even. These strawberries and cream alone are the bomb. Now we just kind of smoothed it out, evened it out, and now let's move on to the next step. Okay. So here we have our second, you know, the second layer, and we're actually just going to place it right on top. Dang, look at that. Looks all professional, right? Microwave cake. Don't tell anyone though. Okay, so what we're gonna do, because we're gonna pour our chocolate ganache, this is so sturdy that I can just pick it up and move it over. We're gonna do it on a separate plate first so that it doesn't get the stand messy. So let me show you what we're doing, okay? So we have, this is what it looks like right before we're pouring it out so you can see the consistency. How does that look? I'm telling you, this tastes amazing. Like, I just wanna sit down and eat it with like berries and stuff. We're just gonna start here in the center. And we're going to spread it. So, okay, so now we're just going to let it, it's gonna, you know, fall to the sides a little, but okay, girl. It's like concentrating time right now. I mean, this is gonna look like a real cake, guys. I mean, it is a real cake, but you know what I mean. Like if you baked it. And you don't have to tell anyone that you microwaved it because it doesn't taste like it's a microwave cake. Okay, so now take a look. I've kind of tried to smooth it all out. And now I'm just gonna finish the last little bit of it, but this is what it will look like. And I'm gonna show you how we're gonna decorate it. And it's gonna look like the real deal. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this in the refrigerator for a few minutes so that it's easier for us to transfer it back over. So meanwhile, I'm gonna show you how to prepare our piping bag and we're gonna decorate our cake next. So we're gonna be using the 1M tip, and this is a Wilton one, so you can find this online. I'll link it down below, or Walmart or anything like that. So you have your piping bag, you cut the tip off, and then that's what it's gonna look like. Okay, very, very simple. And then, so things don't go all over the place, you can just find a cup, a mug, anything. I'm using this. And so you're just gonna fold it over so that it doesn't get messy, right? And now we get our frosting, our filling, and we are just going to do this.
Yeah.
Okay, so now, see how it's like mess-free? Then you're just gonna start pushing it down. Okay, and you twist. Okay, so now let me show you how we're gonna decorate this. We're just gonna place them on a little napkin, paper towel, and make sure that they're nice and dry. Okay, and now I'm gonna go grab our cake because we're gonna get started with decorating. Okay, so now we're going to slide our spatula under, and let's go ahead and transfer a little cake over. And now we just pull it out. Okay, so we're just making little swirls. So press center and pull up. I mean, they're not really centered, but you know, looks good enough. So it's press, little roller coaster, down. Press, roller coaster, and down. You're just having a little baking class with me now. Okay, so now we're gonna grab our strawberries and we're just going to place them right on top. And the last one. Take a look at this beautiful microwave cake. I don't even want to say microwave because I feel like it takes away from it, but I'm telling you, this is, not only does it look beautiful, it's gonna taste absolutely amazing. You have to try this. Like, this is a must. Okay, so can you believe that this is a microwavable cake? I mean, I just can't. Look at this. It looks all professional. You guys have to try this. We're gonna go in for the taste test right now, but if you've already tried my mug cake, then you know that this recipe is absolutely delicious. And Wow. This actually almost tastes like a tres leches cake a little bit, because it's so moist, but it's phenomenal. I mean, it's a combination of everything. Of course, the cake, it's not eggy, because I know that's probably something you guys are thinking. It's not eggy. It's nice and airy. Like you can see the bubbles, like the, what do they call it? Like the crumb. And it's not like all dense, like a pound cake, you know? And then with the cream cheese filling and frosting, it's honestly, this tastes like a store-bought cake. You have to try it. Make sure you come back and comment down below. Let me know how it turned out. If you shared it with your families, please share the feedback. I love reading your comments and seeing how your recipes turned out. So this is, I mean, honestly, it's a 10 out of 10. Give it a shot. Okay guys, so I hope you really enjoyed this recipe. Let me know what you think of this idea. I mean, a cake in the microwave, is this something you're gonna try? I hope you really enjoyed this recipe. Please, again, share your feedback with me. Oh, and if you don't already know, I just launched my blog. Please go take a look at it. So I have most of my recipes on there. For sure, the most popular where they're actually printable for you. So make sure you check that out, which is at lowcarblove.com. And if you want a little more of me besides here on YouTube, then of course follow me on Instagram and on TikTok as well. Guys, thank you for being here. I love you so much, and I will see you on my next video. Mwah.